you're obviously a very aware, present, mindful, stoic person. Do you screw with any of these things like psychedelics? Have you had experience with them in the past? Should we save this for another episode? I don't know. Where are you at with that?
Yeah, that's a big one, man.
It is.
Psychedelics, like, I mean, there's different levels, isn't there? Like we learned in this book, he's talking about
Yeah.
I assume, like, it seems to me that like the mushrooms and acid and MDMA, they're kind of all on one level. And then there's this other level with DMT and ayahuasca and all those other things that seem to be, just on a whole other spectrum, and I can say that I've never experienced DMT or ayahuasca or anything, but I've listened to a lot of podcasts about it, and it seems to me that it's more of like a medicinal thing, and that it's maybe not a drug.
I'd agree.
It's more of a medicine. And that's exciting to me, and I hope to one day experiment with that stuff. When I have the time and when it feels right, I'm super interested in using that stuff medicinally, especially if it can help me get to the next level. And that's all what I'm driven by, is like evolution, right? Evolving myself. So like that stuff is exciting to me, especially as people learn more about it. And if we take it down to a lower level, so we want to talk about, I guess, LSD, psilocybin, and MDMA and stuff. Like I've heard, rumors of a lot of athletes microdosing mushrooms. And I actually know athletes right now who are experimenting with microdosing certain mushroom compounds that actually will help you increase your performance. And this is insane to me to hear. And I've definitely experimented with some of this stuff, and I could see that working out. I could see the possibilities.
Yeah.
But I've never done a formal experiment and microdose mushrooms and went out and rode and see how that goes. Because that's scary to me. That's a great way to get hurt, it sounds like.
It is.
But then I hear stories of, certain action sport athletes who will never go into an event unless they're microdosed. And they go and win everything.
Really? That's crazy.
And you're just like, holy shit, that's insane, man. So there definitely is a subculture in action sports that are using psychedelics as performance enhancers. That is really freaking crazy. It sounds crazy. It's taboo. It's not really talked about a lot. And it's interesting because it's happening. So I wonder how that's going to kind of unravel and evolve. And it's interesting to me as a performance enthusiast and someone who's trying to be the best that they can possibly be. It's interesting that stuff like that kind of comes into the picture, right? And I don't know where I stand on it because is it a performance enhancer? Is it like taking steroids, for instance? Is it but steroids for the mind, basically? And action sports are so mental that maybe it is, steroids for your brain that allows you to perform on a higher level. I don't really know, but I really am interested in it, and I'm hoping to learn more about it in the next 5 years for sure.
Yeah, I bet. I think it's interesting to see what the future will look like with that. Whether imagine athletes having mind blank of the word. Psilocybin mushroom sponsors on the helmets and stuff like that. Imagine that.
No, they would never
future.
fly.
It could be,
and that's something because you cannot like action sport athlete is a superhero, right? Are you going to sit beside a 15-year-old kid with magic mushrooms on your helmet and be like, yo, kid, I take this shit before every run, and that's how I do all these moves. What kind of
They
message?
do it with energy drinks.
Yeah. Well, what kind of message are you sending? Right. The kid is
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
He's not going to be grown up enough to understand that, and these substances are so dangerous that I mean, have you experienced with psilocybin? Like, it's insane. Like, I've seen psilocybin turn grown men into basically like, like like children, man.
Dude, I had one like gnarly experience with them, with mushrooms, like the gnarliest experience, one that will stick with me forever actually. And I've not really done much of it since, because